Wow. Hi, y'all. I'm not sure if my camera's working right, but it doesn't seem like it is. I can't tell if you can all hear me or see me, but I'm having technical difficulties. Seriously, I am. So, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I'm trying to make this happen right now, but it might not. So I don't know. Is everyone seeing me okay, or is the stability of the you can hear me great, but is the stability of the video okay? If it's not, then I'm just gonna cancel here. Oh, because I've been really busy. So, I want to do the lives, but I'm really busy and I have a lot of going on right now. So I'm trying to, maneuver through the time zone changes here. Hopefully. Okay, great. And everything, it's lagging a little bit, but that's okay. I think we can try to make it through this. And if it's really bad, we'll just cancel the live and we'll do it. I'll try to make it up for you guys all tomorrow. Right now, okay, great. I think, but it shouldn't be lagging. It shouldn't be lagging. Okay, so it's freezing. You know what? I'm going to change to my Wi-Fi. Sorry, you guys. We're going to do this technical thing while we're all together here. And let's see if we can make it work through Wi-Fi better without the freezing. Okay, so, I'm just going to start. Yeah, but I don't want you just to hear me. I want you to see me too, because it makes it more interactive. So thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm just not sure why it's lagging like that. It just should not be lagging like that. I'm hardwired in. Everything is kosher. Hey friend. So I can see the feedback bouncing back off of the phone. Yeah. So I'm having feedback. You're the only one telling me that. So I'm not okay. Okay, y'all. So anyway, let me just move forward here so I have about 20 minutes to do this live, but I really want to. Okay, great. So if you can all see me and hear me, we're just going to move forward on this. So good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm working on this. I pretty much figured out what the actual problem is, and it's my laptop. It's just old and it's time. I need more resources. I think this is taking up all my resources, so it doesn't seem to want to stream properly anymore. So good morning, friend. So today, what I really wanted to have a little discussion about, is this idea that our community is so incredibly divided and it's so incredibly hateful. I'm going to just say it. It's hateful. The hate and the nonsensical stuff that comes out of some of the mouths of babes is really rather disturbing for me as an older slash elder in this community. And I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand why we've gotten to this space. I don't understand why we wouldn't want to live in a society and in a community that actually cares and loves each other. I don't understand it. And I really want to have that discussion with you all. And I want to know why we've come to this sort of space now that says we have to be angry at each other, because that's what I feel. I feel like we're telling I'm feeling like we're telling a younger generation that it is okay. Yeah, that it is okay to be mean and disconnected and angry and spreading hate, not only within our community, but outside of our community. And that's not my place. I will not be a part of that. That's very against everything I believe I transitioned for. I transitioned to be happy. Okay. I transitioned to live a life of finally feeling like I can be a part of the world. I transition because I believe in transition, and why would we teach a younger generation to, you know, interact with the world in a very hateful way? I don't understand. Somebody wrote here, wait, where I want to see that. You hit it right on the head. It's 100% social media. I will not in any way, shape, or form believe it's not. Okay. It is. It's social media. Let's just be honest here. Okay. Because there's a reason why. Here it is. Rebecca wrote that. I think it was you, my friend. I think social media has dehumanized some folks. It is true. It has actually done that. I see it not only within our community, but I see it everywhere. And it's not just trans people, but of course, I'm going to talk about our community. It's everyone is hateful and angry and mean and divided and think they know better. And no one's taking care of their self, right? This is what I want to say. No one's taking care of themselves. Everyone is pointing fingers. I don't want to sit here today. It sounds like I'm pointing fingers. What I'm trying to say is that I really take responsibility for what I put out there. Okay. I really do. Whether you want to believe that or not, I take responsibility for what I put out there. And I don't believe that what I put out there is hateful and mean. I think what I put out there is I want to see some change in a direction that says love and happiness. I don't want to see forcing people to do things that might go against their own way of being. And for example, I always go to this pronoun thing, but I understand it's so important for some people, but it's not important for other people. And I think this is exactly where we are sort of losing traction in our community by forcing our own beliefs, okay? By forcing our own beliefs on other people who do not want to believe what me and you believe. That is not okay. I don't want to force somebody to believe what I believe. That is not my space. And why don't I want that? Because I don't want somebody else forcing me to believe something I don't believe. You understand what I'm saying? So you always have to look inward. Okay, these are really spiritual, whatever you want to call it, ways of being that you have to take responsibility for you. You can't always be like pointing fingers at everyone else as if everyone else is the problem, because they're not the problem. What is the problem is that we're not listening to each other. We're not participating with each other. We're not giving people the space to say, I disagree with you, because disagreement is an important part of learning how to sort of coexist with each other. If we don't learn to start to understand that other people have different ways of being, and if you can't, on some level, coexist in your world with the way other people coexist, how do you expect other people to want to coexist with you? Does that make sense? I'm wondering if what I'm saying to you all makes any sense, and I would love to see some feedback around that. Because yeah, sorry, my connection is just not doing well this morning, and so it's not necessarily my connection. You know what else it is? It's actually it's my laptop. It's just taking a dump. And it's the universe telling me it's time for a new laptop. So, I got to go dish out the cash for that. But that being said, I really apologize for the lag here. It's my laptop. 100% it is. So that's why we're going to just have a short little talk here this morning. And then by the next live, I'll have a new laptop. So, but I also believe it's my internet connection for some reason, because I'm seeing it in the I'm seeing it in the hardware running fine, but when I go to the actual page here. So anyway, I want to open it up now to you all as I question. Someone said that would be nice. I really want to open it up to you all here, and I want to have this discussion about why do you think we're all in this state of hate? Why? Yeah, here you go. Thank you for this. Here you go. I'll put this up here. Okay. From what I see from you, Buck, I believe you just want trans people to own their truth and biology of transition. That's exactly it. I'm not. No, I have everything else shut down. I'm not in any way, shape, or form ever going to force somebody to like me. I'm never going to force somebody to believe in my transition. I'm never going to force somebody to see me in a way that I want you to see me. I'm just not, because you don't control my feelings. So if you don't control my feelings and you don't believe in my transition or believe in my way of being, then how is that going to affect my life? Because I don't really need your validation. I just don't. I've learned how to love myself without feeling that I need this attention from all of you to say, well, Buck's totally solid and Buck can, no, I don't need that. I appreciate it if you say that to me, and I'm grateful that you can say those things to me, but I don't need it from you. And this, I think, is one of the things we are missing in our community. We're missing this understanding that it's a two-way street, people. You can't force people to accept you if you're not going to if you're not going to accept others. Here, let me see this message right here. Yes, like you can't label people in groups. You can't label people with hate tags like cis. Exactly. N-word, because it's the same hateful word. You can't blame straight. That's exactly right, Raven. And that's what I'm trying to say here, is that label cisgender is not comfortable for many people in the world. Yet you insist on using that word, even when people ask you not to use that word. How is that not the same as when people misgender you? How is that not the same? I want to know, because it's exactly the same. When you label a person with a label that they do not want to take on, and you refuse to listen to that person or their feelings, which are valid as well, because it can't be only your feelings that are valid. That's complete bullcrap. So when you decide that you're going to call every single person in the world a cisgender person, but I would say the majority of those people actually don't want to be called cisgender. Okay? You continue to push that label on a group of people that outnumber us by like 99% of the world. So I don't, can somebody please explain that to me? Here. We have Holly says, you nailed it, Buck. People want others to see them as they see themselves. Almost impossible, because some see themselves in a whole different way. That's right. Now, that being said, Holly, you know I work very hard to look this way. I look like a man. I don't know if I walk like a man or if I talk like a man or if I, but I know I look like a man. So I don't really worry about the things that I think a generation that is expecting you to see them as a man, yet they look like a woman, gets a different space. That's why I walk and navigate through the world in a less, let me see this right here, in a way that enables me to be happy. Now, I'm sorry if people are misgendering you because you don't look like a man but that's the reality of the world. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be like that for the rest of your life. You're not going to change it. I don't care how much you push on the world. I don't care how much you say biology isn't real. I don't care how much you say, non-binary is a social, everything is a social construct. If that's the case, it's sure been working for a long ass time. And I would say the majority of the world is very happy in their space. The trans world is not happy because they don't fit in. Does that make sense? That they're not happy because they don't fit in. Well, why don't they fit in? Why do transgender people today not fit in? Why do I feel like I fit in? Why do you think I feel like I fit in? Well, I wanted to make an effort to fit in, if that makes sense. I do want to look like a biological male. I want to look like that. I want to look like a man. I want to walk the world as a man. I don't want you to have to guess my gender. I want you to see me as a man. I don't want you to think, oh, I lived in an androgynous space. I didn't like it. It wasn't comfortable for me. So I made the effort to transition to look like a man. I don't get misgendered anymore. I don't get any of it. It's my choice to look this way. Of course, people misgender me still. They do it because they want to be mean, not because they see me as a woman. Everyone knows that I'm a biological female. So they try to hurl, these insults at me. It's not insulting to me because I am a biological female. So when you call me a woman and all that, I'm like, okay, I'll accept it. I am a woman. I'm an actual, real biological female. You can call me I'm not going to lie about it. I'm just not. It's not hurtful to me to accept my reality. And I think this is what's missing in a younger generation. I think that many people are being led down a path of lies. So one says truth and honesty goes a long way with people. That's why I admire Buck. Unlike the deluded folks who think they can identify as cats. And here's the deal we want is that, yeah, I think there's some delusion going on, but I'm also wondering this. Are we encouraging the delusion? Are we? Are we encouraging this delusion? I on some level, I think we are, because we're letting these young people say they're cats and dogs and whatever, and that they have 500 different, disorders, and we're just letting them do that. We're not helping them, you all. We're not helping them. We're hurting them. We're leading them down a false path, as you can see. Because if you just watch the young generation on all their social media apps and all this desire to sort of be this transgender world, they're all, yeah, it's old. I'm getting a new one. But, if you're all cool with me just doing this with this computer right now, we'll continue. But if not, if it's too hard to watch, we can end the live right now. Just let me know, because it's not comfortable watching me like jerk all over the place. I'm not comfortable with it either. So I apologize again. So, little by little, I got all of this technical stuff together, but it's 100% my laptop. So, so that being said, I wonder why we continue to sort of lead the youth, okay? Lead the youth down this path of, on some level, self-destruction. Why would we want to lead people down a path of self-destruction? I'm not going to be a part of that. It is why I'm honest and why I have these conversations that are on some level hurtful. So here we go. I want to get this. I can't be part of something that I see as not being honest, and I see as something that could lead to destruction. Okay, so Mac Daddy says, so why don't identify as transgender? Can you explain the difference between that? Yeah, sure, I can. Here, as everybody knows, probably here, because a lot of you are returning guests, here's what I want to say. There's a difference between transgender and transsexual. Why is that? I'm a transsexual person, which means that I acknowledge my biology. I was born a female. I was not assigned female. I was born female. I do not align with that. I don't feel comfortable. No, Zelda, I'll look at it in a minute. I don't feel comfortable in that body. I used what we call medicine to transition to look like a man, to walk in the world as a male. That's a transsexual. They'll pretty much live in a binary space, have gender dysphoria, go to a doctor, get a diagnosis, and move forward through a medical transition. That is a transsexual person. Transgender is not one thing anymore. It is an umbrella term that encompasses every gender possible, including frogs and dogs. So that doesn't resonate with me, nor does it align with me. So, and trans species and all of this other stuff that I have no idea what's going on over there, and that's not my space. So I had, quote unquote, a sex change, and that's a transsexual. So I hope that you understand the difference. Here's Zelda. Let me go look to see what your comment was. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. If you can rewrite it again, I'll pull it up. Okay. So yeah, the whole point, Holly. So Holly says, I had no idea you were trans until you popped up when I was looking up trans role models for my friend. Yeah, that's right. That is the point, Holly, and that's a huge compliment for me. That is exactly what I want you to see me as. I don't live as a trans man. I live as a man. And that's the difference. And you can call me every name in the book. It doesn't matter. If you want to call me cis heteronormative, whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me. If that, on some level, it's a compliment. A transsexual person wants to look cisgender. Oh, I hate that word. They want to look like a biological male or female. They want to walk the world like that. They want people to see them like that. They don't want to have to continue to put their pronouns in their bio. They don't want to have to keep explaining that they had a sex change. They don't want to do, hey, friend, that's the whole point of our sex changes, so that we don't have to keep telling you why and where and why this and that. That's why we don't align with the newer generation of trans, and that anyone can be trans, and trans is now an identity, and that is something else. These people aren't even getting diagnosed as gender dysphoric because they think you don't need gender dysphoria to be trans. Well, guess what? Yes, you do. And that's how what is transcultism? Yeah, so that's the point, Bill, is we want to look like men and women. Blair, me, Marcus, we're transsexuals. We accept our diagnosis of gender dysphoria. We accept the fact that we have a disorder. What we do is we take that disorder and we fix it so we can now walk the world. We want to walk the world so that you see us as men and women. I don't want to fight with you. Mac Daddy, does it hurt you at all that some people still don't see you as a man, regardless of you presenting as one and calling yourself one? Nope, it doesn't, Mac Daddy. Nope. Want to know why it doesn't? Well, first off, I'm 60. Secondly, I'm 30 years into my transition. Third, I really learned to take responsibility for my own actions and not other people's actions. I can't control the way people think, and I don't want to control the way people think because I don't want people to control the way I think. So if somebody's just going to have an issue about me being, this person, that's just on them. You know what I mean? It's a very freeing space. I hope you all hear me right now. I hope you all hear me and what I'm going to tell you right now. It is a very freeing space to no longer worry about what the world thinks about you. Because if people are coming at you and throwing and slinging hate and all of that stuff, you have to always remember those people are hurting. Those people don't have what you and I have. They're not solid. They're angry. They're not willing to take responsibility for themselves. They're willing to blame you and me for the fact that they're not functioning properly. But how is that my problem? And how is that you? I feel bad for those people. But the minute people start slinging hate and throwing it at you and feeling that they get the upper hand to tell you, no, just walk away. And so to answer the question, I walk away. I constantly walk away. I will not let somebody in any way, shape, or form dominate my thought process because that's just not where I'm at. And I've worked very hard on myself. Raven says we shouldn't ask them to give up their faith or to allow us in their churches in order to gain acceptance. We should open our own churches. There you go, Raven. That's exactly my thought process. It's the same with everything in the transgender community, with sports, with bathrooms, with things, even with jail and prison. Why aren't we having our own space? We need to have our own safe. I wouldn't feel safe going into a men's prison. I don't even think I would feel safe going into a women's prison. So how come we don't have a space for ourselves? There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, we'll be safer. We'll be taken care of the way we need to be taken care of. There are certain spaces in this world where we probably will never be able to coexist. Now, I can coexist in the toilet. Clearly, I can do that. And most trans people who are just respectful of that space can coexist in the toilet. It's the ones who are walking into the women's room and pulling out their penises. It's the ones who are like trying to make it into a big, political statement. Those are the ones that don't really care to create a coexisting world. Those are the ones who are trying to create what? Divide. Because if you're a transgender woman who still has a penis and you're walking into a woman's bathroom and you're actually pulling out your penis for everyone to see there for some reason, then you have no desire to coexist. You're doing that in order to create a divide. You are not, I don't go in the men's room and stand at the urinal. I just don't do that. I mean, I have done it. But I realized it's not cool. I'm not comfortable with this. And why am I trying to do this? So I go in the stall and I go there and there's no problem. And we all coexist. And that's, you've look, as a transgender or a minority in the world, whatever you want to call us, you, you're going to have to learn how to navigate the world. The world doesn't have to navigate you. I hope that makes sense. You've got to take responsibility for yourself. You've got to learn how. The fact that you are a very small minority in this world does not give you the right to overrun other people's space and way of being. It's not how you coexist. I proved it. I figure out how to walk the world without pushing the world against me. I bring the world in on me. And if that makes sense. Okay, here's Zelda. Okay, so hi, Zelda. So a friend of mine said that I have you on my podcast. You would get me to say something that would get me canceled. What? I don't know. I'm not even gonna. That's not my problem. Zelda, that's not my problem. That's honestly not even a problem for you. That matters whether or not. Am I canceled? Am I actually canceled? Because it doesn't look to me like I'm canceled. So why would you get canceled? And what does that even mean, canceled? Right? What does that mean, canceled? So I don't think I'm canceled. And so I don't know why you would think you would get canceled. And I don't know why people are actually here watching this live stream if I'm canceled. So just so you know, you're being gaslit. That's gaslighting. So Zelda's question is 100% not your question to me, but what those people said to you, Zelda, is gaslighting. Because what that's doing is trying to stop you from having a conversation with me because people get butthurt. This community, quote unquote, gets butthurt. So if you're going to play into that space, that's something you need to really think about yourself. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't care if you have me on your podcast or not. I'm on a million podcasts, so it doesn't really matter to me. But if you are too worried about being canceled, don't have me on. I have no issues with that whatsoever. I don't want you to have to get and feel in any way, shape, or form that you're uncomfortable having me on your podcast. So, people just like to be negative. That's all. And that's okay. I mean, I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny that people think that, cancel culture is pretty much over, just so you know. It's pretty much over. People have had it. I have a focus. The people who are canceling me are people that don't matter to me, just so you know. So who's ever canceling me, they're not even in my life, and I don't give a shit about them. And it hasn't hurt me on any way, shape, or form. In fact, my quote unquote popularity has grown. So, I just don't believe that there's a thing called cancel unless you let that happen. Okay. Unless you let people sort of guide your light. Nobody guides my light. I guide my own light, and so does the universe. And if people are going to try to come at me, that means I'm doing something right. So, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, here you go. If people are offended by your opinions, are not so grounded in their own opinions, there you go, my friends. There you go. So people are going to say, and it is here. It's the left. It's the woke people. They're the ones who are doing the damage to our community. They don't care. Don't let those people fool you. That left woke side is damaging. They are incredibly fascist. They want to, so whatever you think about the right or over there, they're much more willing to have a conversation. The left woke people do not want to have a conversation. They want to shut you down. No matter where your political space is, all of that. I don't care. What I care about is you understanding what this whole new sort of woke left fake liberalism is coming from. Because liberalism does not include hate against groups of people. A liberal person wants freedom for everyone. That's what liberalism is. It's not to shut people down. It's not to tell them that they can't say things because you're going to hurt people's. That's not liberalism. That's something else. So the left has become a very hate-filled group, okay? And that's what you must understand, is that don't let them fool you. They are damaging. Here, look at this. Bill says they are damaging your community. I was pretty anti-trans until I started to listen to you, Marcus, and Blair. And that means a lot to me, Bill. And I'm pretty sure Blair and Marcus as well, because they're very good buddies of mine. what was your comment, my friend? Here, Mac Daddy says, I'm not transgender, but I would think if I was, I wanted people to see me as the way I want to be seen, and I was able to successfully pull it off. I wouldn't want to talk about it. That's right. Please understand the difference between me and another person who walks the world as a trans person. I don't walk the world as a trans person. I don't want you to see me as a trans person. I want you to see me as a guy. And all, it's real simple. It's real simple. So yeah, this is also a really great. Woke is about exploiting people. It's a fraud. Okay. It's an actual fraud. That's not the original. Somebody go look and see what the whole original meaning of woke is. What's the original meaning of woke? It's not what you see today, not in any way, shape, or form. Woke has been hijacked. Woke is now this new sort of, it's supposed to be a buzzword for the fact that you're open-minded and you want everything. That's not true. The woke people are not open-minded. They're not willing to have conversation with us. They're not willing to participate in any way, shape, or form with finding solutions. Okay. Oh, hey, friend. Hey, Kay. Oh, you did. You saw me on Blair. Yeah, I'm with Blair today. We're hanging out. Good to see you living your life. Oh, thank you. More balls than most men. Well, thank you, friend. That means a lot to me. Here's the deal, friend. I've been doing this for such a long time. You kind of have to grow balls of steel because, this newer generation just falls apart if anyone says anything to them. And it's that reality they're living in must suck, because my reality is awesome. And I get misgendered, all the time, just because people want to do that, not because I think that it's obvious, that they just want to do that. So I think I think one of the lessons I try to teach the younger generation is, why are you getting so upset? Why are you getting so upset about the fact that the world might not see you as the person you want to be? Why are you getting upset about that? I want to know, does anybody have an opinion on that? Why do you think people today, especially young people, they just cannot handle any form of pushback, any form of possible not accepting their choice, their identity choice? And here's what I'm wondering: do people actually not accept it? Are people not accepting people's identity choice? Are they just saying, I don't necessarily understand it? Maybe if you took a little time to explain it to me a little bit more, and maybe if you weren't so angry about it, and maybe if you weren't so pushing on me to take on your beliefs, I want to throw that back on the trans community. So you expect everybody to sort of just bow down to you as a trans person now, and you are this sad victim-y, person who's a marginalized community who has suicidal tendencies, and I could go on and on with your victim-y, narratives. Why not change that narrative to something positive? Why not make that narrative, first and foremost, I am so blessed and so grateful for the opportunity to transition, to live the life I've always wanted to live. No matter what anybody else says or does to me, I know in my heart that I am giving an opportunity by the universe to make myself happy. Why is that not the narrative? Why is the narrative, everybody hates me, I'm trans, it's not my choice, stop misgendering me, you don't get it. It's just unbelievable, the words that are being put in these young people's mouths. I don't understand it. I just don't. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. This is great right here. Look, check it out. Straight people get misgendered. That's my point, friend. That's my point. People get misgendered constantly. Oh my God. Like, I have friends who are really butch women and they constantly get misgendered. They laugh at it because they're not so attached to it. We're creating a generation of people who are so attached to their identity in a way that it's the only thing that they live for. If that's the only thing you're living for, your identity, you're in a big trouble right there, because that's not your only thing. There are many other great aspects to being yourself that you're missing. If the only thing you're focusing on is your identity choice, you have missed the mark. You have missed the mark. You forgot why you're transitioning. It's a means to an end of being miserable. But I don't see that. I see a more miserable space. I see a young generation of people feeling more miserable as they transition. I feel that I don't see you going and going, "Oh my gosh, I have this opportunity to transition and I feel so happy with myself." No, I see you saying mean things about cisgender people, mean things about women who are also having their own opinion about where they stand as women, and you pushing back on them like the most misogynist crap I've ever seen in my life. Oh, thanks, Al. I totally appreciate that, buddy. Thank you, friend. That means a lot to me. You know, I just the narrative is damaging you. The narrative you are saying is damaging you. It is not helping you grow. It is not helping you become a better person. It is keeping you down. It is keeping you trapped. And my mind says there must be an agenda here to rally up these young people, give them all this anger and hate and fire and brimstone under their pants, that all they can do is spew fire. If that's all you're spewing in the world is fire and hate, what do you think is going to come back at you? Fire and hate. When you are pushing hate on one group of people, that one group of person will come back and spew on you just as well. They don't spew on me. And I know I see you out there calling me a bootlicker, calling me I mean, there's just so many names you just make up. It's unbelievable. Because I choose to coexist. I am not going to be part of a lie, of a narrative that doesn't make any sense to me, that does not align with me. That is not, I'm not just a transsexual person. I'm a person who cares. I'm a person who wants to see the world change. I'm a person that believes that I coexist with you. I don't hate you because you get to be born in the body you love. I don't even necessarily am jealous of you. This is just the path the universe has given me, and I've learned to accept it and learn to move on. It's like any diagnosis you get in the world that can fucking set you off, and you get it, but you're like, oh shit, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to die. I'm not going to make myself die because I got a cancer diagnosis. It might turn out good and I might be able to live, or I might not. So what am I going to do with the limited amount of time I have left on this earth? Instead of being angry that I got cancer, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to fix this. I'm going to try to work with it. But you all are using your trans space to say the world is against you. The world is not against you. You are against yourself. And in order to get yourself out of that rut, you oh, thank you, friend. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, friend. I know it's not the internet, it's literally my laptop dying right now as we speak. I can just feel it dying. But wow, really sending you tons of love, my friend. That means a lot to me. Thank you, friend. So, you know, I'm gonna end here because I gotta get going. I have a big lunch meeting, and I'm gonna be doing some great stuff in the next couple of days that you'll be seeing on the internet that I think are gonna change a lot of people. And I've been doing podcasts on platforms that all of you in the trans community would probably be considered haters. But those are the podcasts to me that ask me to come on because they want to talk to me. They don't want to hate me. They want to know, why did Buck, this woman, want to become a man? And so I get to stand and sit with people who would probably not even ever give me the time of day, but let me sit with them and say, hey, dude, you know, I don't expect you to see me as anything you don't want to see me at, but hey, dude, I live an awesome life, my friend, and I get to do these things and I don't hate myself anymore. That resonates with people. That resonates. When you come to people with love in your heart and say, oh man, look at me, I'm thriving. I want to be I want to be a badass in the world. I want to create products. I want to make people happy. I don't want to come to the world pushing on you. I want to come to the world and join you. Do you know how incredibly powerful that is? That's the message that this community needs to change. I don't know why you're pushing on people. I don't know why you're not on some level wanting to exist in this world together. That's all it's ever going to give you. It's not going to give you anything else. Once you choose to coexist, your whole life will change. That's the message I'm going to leave with you today. Stop with the hate. Stop with the name calling. Stop with the divide. Stop with your victim mentality. Stop with this idea that nobody likes you. Stop with this idea that if you get misgendered, your whole world is going to crash. Those are words, people. They're not physical violence. Stop saying words are violence. They are not. What is violence is when you create divide and hate and someone punches you in the face. That's hate. And that is violence. So with that, my friends, I'm going to leave you to think about, what are you doing in order to create change? Are you spreading love? Are you spreading hate? Are you spreading education? Are you willing to have a conversation? Are you willing to open up dialogue? Are you willing to literally sit with yourself and say, what am I doing to be a part of this? Thank you, friend. It means a lot to me, you guys. Everyone's sending me little beautiful gifts. It means a lot. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. By next week, I'll have a new laptop. I promise you that. This is ridiculous. And I apologize for it. But it means a lot to me that you all show up. And I'll get back on track at noon. We'll do the new ones. And maybe I'll do a special live this weekend just to make up for this crappy one. So love you all so much. Spread the love today. Know that you are responsible for your actions and your actions only. You are not responsible for how other people treat you or talk to you. That is in their own heart. It's not yours. You are responsible for your heart. Have a beautiful, awesome day. Now let me see if I can get out of this insane connection.